last week I was disappointed with how my drawings turned out. I mean, the line weight, the design of each features, and just the overall quality of the drawing was not really what I was expecting. So this week, my goals were firstly, review how I should actually add line weight to each feature, and lastly, just apply what I've learned to a portrait that I draw. And I mean, there are only like 5 different features of the head. Can't be that hard, right? Right? And that's where you're wrong, kiddo. You see, art is not only about remembering stuff. You actually need to go out and draw them for yourself so you can understand them. So I realized that I had to go ahead and not only just go through each lesson and review how to add line weight to each of the features, but to actually do the exercises and draw each of the features. And so I did just that. So as it turns out, each feature has a lot of different rules and design principles that you have to balance in order to get a good drawing of that feature, while also making it look like the guy in the reference. And I'm just gonna give you a few examples from each feature because otherwise we're gonna be here all day. So starting off with the eyes, it's one of the hardest features of the head because it's usually the focal point of the head, so you just have to get it right. I mean, not to say that you don't have to get the other features right, but this one's a little bit more important. What's hard about the eye is that you have to show the structure of the eye while not making it too straight, since the eyelids are wrapping around the eyeball and we kind of want to show that. Second, we have the nose. Now, the nose has the highest amount of line variation depending on how the face is turned and if we can see the side of the nose or not, because that will influence adding the line weight to the ball of the nose and the bridge of the nose as well. Next up, we have the lips, which is a bit easy to understand the lips planes and how to design them, but I found that it is quite hard to actually do so in practice since the lips are really soft and curvy, so we obviously have to show it by using curves for the lips, but again, not too curvy as then the lips will start to lose their structure. Don't even get me started on the mouth opening, which just adds another variation to the lips, as if the regular lips weren't hard enough. So number 4, we have the ears. Now it's really hard to show the corner of the ear without making him look like an elf, but on the bright side, I now know how to draw elves really well, I guess. And finally we have the jaw, which is actually fairly simple. You just have to make it pretty bold since it is the outline of the face, and you should be good. Now obviously this was just a brief overview of the features. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to give out a full in-depth explanation to each feature. So now that I've practiced how I should add the line weight to each feature and what are the basic design principles that go into it, it should be just super simple to just plug and play that into my portrait drawing, right? Right? Yeah, that is still not the case. You see, even though I know how to add line weight to each feature, the hardest part is actually getting the design of the feature to match the reference, and sometimes even improve the reference in areas where the actual design of the features is not that clear on the model. There are a lot of minor decisions that all contribute to the quality of the portrait in the end. And although practicing adding line weight to the features is a good way to understand the basic principles and steps to adding line weight, ultimately though, adding line weight to the portrait is all about the design decisions that you make throughout the entire process. So knowing how to add line weight is just a single piece of the puzzle when it comes to designing and adding line weight to the portrait that you're drawing. But in the end, I managed to succeed. After working hard and applying what I've learned to the portrait drawing, I've managed to end up with a result that I think looks pretty good in my opinion. Moral of the story is, you can't just watch tutorials when it comes to learning art. You have to get your hands dirty and apply them in your studies as well, so you can actually learn it and integrate it into your drawings. So that's it for this video. Check out my next weekly progress if that's out, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!